All right, hello and welcome everyone to our involvement panel series. And this one is about organizations in the arts. My name is Allison Penn, and I am a senior here at the University of Kentucky. And I'm actually graduating this December, and I'm also majoring in mechanical engineering. I am currently the radio station, student-run radio station WRFL's local music director. And then previously I've served as the station's general manager, and then before that, volunteer director. And I will be the moderator for today's session. And today's panel will be focused in groups and will focus about creative and performing arts. And so these organizations cover a huge variety of involvement, and many of these organizations are putting on opportunities for their members to share their art and express themselves. And so now I'll turn it over to our panelists. And so make sure you say your name, your major, what year you are, and then your leadership role within your organization. And so does anyone want to get us started?
I can. Oh, sorry. My name is Lauren Tassie, and I will be a senior in the fall, majoring in special education, and I am the president for the UK Dance Ensemble.
I guess I'll go ahead and go. My name is Lara Roberts. I will be a junior in the fall, and my major is music education, and I am one of the drum majors for the UK Wildcat Marching Band, as well as I play in the UK Symphony Band.
I'll go. I'm Madi Rabe. I am also a music education major, but I'll be a senior this year, and I am also a drum major for the Wildcat Marching Band. And I also play in a couple different ensembles. I've been in wind ensemble concert band, and I sing in some UK choirs.
Hey, I'll go. My name is Cortney Crump. I'm going to be a senior this fall. My major is media arts and studies, and I am the membership executive and video production director of Creator Cats.
And I am Cymone Webb, a rising senior, double majoring in integrated strategic communication and psychology, and I'm the president of Black Voices Gospel Choir.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for introducing yourselves. And so before we start, I'm just going to briefly kind of go over what this entails. So this panel will be a pretty informal Q&A format. For this first portion, we're going to have some prepared questions for you all to answer. And then following that, we're going to have questions from any of our audience members that they'd like to ask. And so if you are tuned in live, you can look at the bottom and there is a Q&A button. And so if you'd like to ask a question to any of our panelists, a specific person in general, or to everyone, you can select that in the Q&A as well. And so I'll start with our first question. So how did you all hear about your organization? And then you guys can decide who goes first.
I'll go ahead and go. So being in marching band was pretty tied to my major. Being music education, I've done it for a pretty long time, and I knew coming into college it was something that I was gonna A, have to do for a little bit, and B, I really wanted to do it. So that's essentially how I learned about the marching band here, and I'm very, very grateful that I did. Symphony band is also a part of a requirement. You don't have to do symphony band per se. You can do concert band, symphony band, wind ensemble like Maddie's in. But for me, it was just really tied to my major. So that's how I got involved with it.
I learned about my organization through Minority Student Welcome, and Minority Student Welcome is like this big fair put on by organizations that are tied or servicing minority students. And so I learned about them and different groups like Underground Perspective and stuff like that. And so I went up to the table and got, involved.
So I kind of have a similar story or background to Lara, where I've always been in a marching band, and obviously as a music ed major I kind of had to do marching band at least for a while, but I've continued doing it because I love it. I also know we have a lot of social media, especially the WMB is very active on social media, so if you follow them on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, there's a lot of there's a lot of active content always going. And then through the WMB, our director, Dr. Dana Biggs, is also the director of the concert band, which is a group that is, you don't have to audition, it's open to anybody on campus. And so that's how a lot of non-music majors and minors get into concert band.
Okay, so I'll go. So the way I heard about my club is kind of different. I actually started my club. We we started last spring semester, and basically the idea was it was actually a few of my friends. We had similar majors. You know, I had one of my friends who was a media arts and studies major, and we just really wanted to get involved. And there wasn't really any clubs for, you know, people who are interested in video production, anything like that. And so we wanted to try to find a way to get people interested in music, visual arts, and video production, just try to find a way for them people to meet and get involved.
So I grew up dancing all throughout my life, began really young. And so when I came to college, I didn't know where that would fit into my life. And actually, while I was walking around Campus Ruckus, came across the UK Dance Ensemble's table, and we started talking, and they had videos of all of their dances and pictures, and it just looked like something that I was used to growing up dancing, and so I wanted to continue that into college and found the group, and I love it. So it's been really fun.
Awesome. Thank you all for that. So my next question for you all is, what made you stay involved with your organization? Whether that be a certain person, maybe an activity or a memory?
I guess I can start off. I grew up singing in church, like all my life. And even in high school, I was involved in like a choir. So my love for gospel music is what kept me going. I wanted to be a part of a group of students that believe what I do and like to sing the type of music that I like to sing. And so that's what kept me grounded and wanting to stay in my organization, because it's like home for me. Gospel music is like home for me. So that's what kept me going, just my love for gospel music.
My story is similar to Cymone's, where I just personally love dance, and it was always a part of my life, and it always felt like I was missing something if I wasn't dancing. And so Dance Ensemble gives me the thing so I'm not missing out on, you know, a big part of my life. And also it's just really fun. We're quite a close-knit group of people, and so we always have fun at any rehearsals or things or shows, and we hang out outside of techniques and rehearsals and stuff like that. So just having a great group of friends who connect through a love of something. So it's been really fun.
I guess the third time's the charm, because I also really, really enjoy what I do, and it's been a very big part of my life, like they both have mentioned. But honestly, the people are literally what have kept me coming back like every year. I just can't imagine not doing it. It's really hard for me to see my life without it. And it's so involved with the fans at UK. It's a really cool experience because you're in the middle of like all of the fans' life, all the students' life, all of the academics and extracurriculars. It's around pretty much everything, and it's super cool to watch it all kind of fit together. So.
Yeah, I agree with Lara. There's something about the Wildcat marching band, which I'll call the WMB sometimes, sorry, it's a habit, but something about going onto the field and doing pregame or doing a halftime show at the football game and having like thousands and thousands of people in the audience, it's really addicting, and it's really exhilarating and fun, and it makes me feel love for the music that I'm making and for the fans and the team, and just like the whole UK experience in the Big Blue Nation is really awesome. And then with concert ensembles, I also keep coming back, one, because I kind of have to, it's my major, but I really love the directors of the ensembles. I think they're all very engaging and they really care about what they do. And if you ask any of them about anything musical or anything, then they will love to talk to you, and they'll be very passionate, and they're passionate in what they do.
So what kind of keeps me coming back is kind of obviously I run the club since we started, but there's so many other reasons. Like I just really love video production, and so it's really just the students, like me making the friends in the club, and just like getting so excited and working on new projects, or like what kind of videos can we make now, and it's just really exciting, and it just always makes it a fun time that makes you want to come back.
Nice. I loved all of your all's answers to that. My next question is, so you all have leadership roles within your organization. So how have you grown as a student by being involved and being a leader in your org?
I can start again. I've been involved in so this is my third year on e-board. I started off as parliamentarian, then vice president, and now I'm president. Being involved in leadership has helped me as a student because it demands discipline and time management. And that's one of the things that I thought I was good at it. You came out of high school like, I can do that. And then I had something that required me to be responsible in that way. And it really made me grow as far as compartmentalizing my time and my mental space and stuff like that. So that's how it's helped me. It's demanded me to be responsible in that way and do better with time management for sure.
Kind of like what she said, I definitely think time management, but with my responsibilities, it's definitely helped me, not responsibilities, sorry, positions. It's definitely helped me take more responsibility and kind of learn from my mistakes, but also conquer my weaknesses. So before I got involved, I was very kind of like a quiet student on campus and didn't really talk to, many people. So, getting into these leadership positions kind of make me be a little bit more confident and talk to people and be a little bit more social than I used to be.
I think especially talking about the marching band specifically, one of the biggest things that has helped me as a student is in the beginning of my college career, freshman year, I was very nervous. I was stressed. I was very focused on all of my core classes and my homework and everything. And I just really needed a break from all of that. And I think going to marching band rehearsals and games and being able to hang out with my friends during all of those things was a big stress reliever. And in the end, that helped a lot with my grades and with being a student.
Yeah, I agree with Maddie on that. It's a pretty fun activity to do. It is a lot of work. It does require a lot of time and commitment, but it's kind of one of those things where you go to it and your mind kind of shuts off because you enjoy doing it and you enjoy what you do. I think for concert ensembles, it's kind of the same type of feel. Just kind of sitting around everybody and making music for me is one of the best ways that I can shut my brain off from whatever or whatever other class is giving me difficulties, and I'm just sitting there and I'm playing with my friends and I enjoy it.
So I will be the first to admit that I'm much more of a follower instead of a leader. At least I was before I became an officer for dance ensemble. And I don't know if that's, good or bad. I can't tell, but I definitely know that I've overcome a lot of what I would say previous weaknesses. Becoming an officer for dance ensemble, I'm much more outgoing. I can make decisions better, and I'm learning how to interact with people in better ways and communicating with people and understanding people's differences and thoughts and ideas. And it's been so amazing to kind of grow not only my organization, but also myself. And so kind of both of those.
Awesome. Thank you guys for that. So I kind of have a twofold question. So what does normal programming typically look like for your organization? What type of events do you normally put on? And then how is that going to look like this fall? I'm assuming a lot of people are curious about that.
I can go. So in previous semesters, Dance Ensemble will put on a concert. In both, we do 2 concerts each year, so one in the fall and one in the spring. And then during the semester, we have 2 techniques on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are just kind of dance techniques where we go over jazz and contemporary tap, hip hop technique, things like that. And then we have rehearsals after those. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll have rehearsals, and then all day Sundays. As of right now, we are still currently waiting to hear back from UK on how to go about this semester and keeping everyone safe and healthy as we can, but also getting together and dancing and doing the things we love. So.
For the marching band, it's going to be a little different this year. Generally, we do football games, pep band events. We do the whole catwalk thing, and then we go around and play pep bands for tailgaters. And that's our main event, I guess you would say. We do a lot of rehearsals. We have band camp. We have leadership camp for the leadership within the WMB, which is actually coming up in about 9 days, I think. But we're still planning on doing band camp and the leadership camp, but it's going to be very different for health and safety reasons. We're going to do masks. We're all required to be tested, every student here. We're going to have hand sanitizing stations. It's very delegated to a lot of different people to make sure this all runs very smoothly and safely. We don't want anyone to feel out of place or not safe. And so yeah, this year we do have 3 shows that we are doing still, as if all goes to plan. We'll do a Beatles show, a 90s show, and a Motown show. And we're very excited about that and ready to perform it if we can, hopefully, but we'll see.
Okay, so speaking on the concert band side of things, typically, depending on the ensemble, we'll have 2 to 3 concerts a semester that are open to the public, and they're held in Singletary. So this year, we aren't going to be having any open concerts, at least to the public. We will be having, well, we won't be having concerts at all. We're gonna do our usual rehearsals, and our ensembles will be 6 feet apart from each chair. We'll all be separated, and we will work up our pieces. And once the piece is ready, from my understanding, we'll be recording with video and audio equipment that has just been purchased for us. And then we'll broadcast that out to the public through social media and other means like that.
So as for BV, normally our engagements look like, there's engagements at churches around the state and the city of Lexington. So normally they'll look like maybe 2 Sundays out of the month. It's as people want us to come. So sometimes we have really busy months where we're singing every Sunday, and sometimes we have slower months where it's once a month or 2 Sundays out of the month, and then we rehearse every Wednesday evening. Now we're still going to rehearse, but we've stopped all engagements off campus, and we're going to focus on our campus community just to keep people safe and things like that. So we're still going to be singing on campus, and then rehearsal still every Wednesday.
So normally with Creative Cats, it's kind of different because last semester was our first semester on campus. But normally we have meetings like at least 2 times a month, and usually we meet up more than that. If it's like working on videos and stuff, we'll go out and go shooting and stuff. But it's going to be different. We're still kind of planning on how we're going to do everything because of COVID. But normally at the end of our semesters, we have a showcase for all members to exhibit their like collaborative and solo projects, whether that's music, video production, or visual arts. So that's something we're working on right now and seeing how that's going to be like, with social distancing and wearing face masks. But another thing we do is we also work with Media Depot. They have a little film festival each semester. So we work on creating videos to enter in their film festivals. So that's one thing we work on. But like I said, again, it will definitely be different with how we go out and shooting everything and, distancing ourselves and wearing face masks.
Awesome. Thank you guys for answering that. Next question that I have, what is your most favorite memory with the org that you're involved with?
For me, it would definitely have to be the Citrus Bowl my freshman year. Disney was awesome. I can't even lie. With W&B, you get to go and have a lot of travel experiences, and we always take pet bands to different places. Might look a little different this year. Actually, it will look a little different this year with everything going on, but it was very cool to win the Citrus Bowl and also end up at Disney. So
I'll go. So one of my favorite experiences, especially with being in wind ensemble, was um the summer the summer of 2019. We took a trip to New York, and we actually got to perform in Carnegie Hall, which was incredible. It was like, you never think you're going to be able to do things like that, but somehow with UK bands, like, they do it. And that was just an amazing experience, and something that I'll never get to do it again, but I'll always remember it. And it's very, very, yeah, it just,
So my favorite memory is a little silly, but I think that this really encompasses dance ensemble and everyone who's involved. Before our shows, we always bust out old Justin Bieber and we'll just like go all on stage and we'll like stretch and get ready while listening to like Baby and like crazy old songs that he used to put out, and we just sing along and like dance it out and kind of like come together, and it just is a good way to like start before our shows, like all just laughing and relaxed, and then we get started and go with our shows, and those are definitely like my most favorite memories.
My favorite memory was last year we put on a breakfast brunch for our alumni to celebrate our 50th year. We were founded in 1970. And so we put on a breakfast brunch in celebration of that, and we got to meet the founding members of our organization and the first composers and pianists that we had. So it was such a fun time to be able to see the people that came before me that were a part of Black Voices Gospel Choir. So it was probably my favorite memory.
Kind of hard for me to pick a favorite memory because Creator Cats hasn't been around that long. But I guess I would say just going out and filming, because we kind of goof off a little bit when we go out with our cameras and everything, and just kind of in the classroom, you know, we'll be silly stuff during meetings, and I guess that would be so far my best memory.
Awesome. Okay, I have one more question for you guys. What advice do you have for incoming freshmen who are wanting to get involved?
just do it. Don't be afraid. Jump into it. Because when I came in, I was so scared of everything and everyone. I didn't want to try anything new, and I didn't want to jump into college. And it is the best decision I ever made, because all of my roommates are from band. All of my roommates I found in fine arts. All of my friends, everyone that I know now, I made through the organizations that I am in right now. And I'm very thrilled that I met all the people that I did, but I would not have if I didn't open up and let myself go a little bit.
I totally agree. Just go for it. Just do it. Just walk up to somebody. If you see they're wearing a shirt and you're like, oh, that looks cool. Like, what is this about? Ask them. Because people in organizations on UK's campus want new students and new people on campus to get involved with their organizations. That's what keeps them going, and it keeps it fresh and keeps it fun. And so really just walk up to someone and ask them. If you see them at Campus Ruckus and you see the table, or you see a flyer and it has a number, call it. Really, it's just about getting out there and kind of just introducing yourself and jumping in.
As everyone has said, yes, the answer is definitely do it. I'll say when I first got to university, even the common things that I hear about from students in orientation, because I was an orientation leader, is that we didn't want to do anything because we're like, oh, class is important. I don't want to get involved in a bunch of stuff and then not be able to commit myself to my schoolwork. And that is so not true. I cannot stress it enough. Getting involved in an organization is not going to be unless you join like 20, it's not going to be a huge dock on being able to commit and do your schoolwork as well. So I would definitely say jump in there, go to the Minority Student Welcome, get on BB Involved and look at all the organizations they have or we have, and jump in, do what you want to do. It's a bunch of stuff on there. So yeah, definitely jump in.
So basically what everyone else has said, I mean, just don't be scared, you know, get out of your comfort zone. If you see like a club that you're like, you know, maybe I think about I might want to do, but you're just too afraid to, just go for it. I mean, you know, what's wrong that would happen? You know, we're all here just to help students get involved and find what they're interested in. So just don't be afraid.
I mean, obviously the same thing as everyone else, but I would also say that there are organizations that I'm in now, like the band and all that I have been in for my entire life. But I would say look around and look for something that maybe you had never heard of or you had never thought that you would like, and try that out. And I mean, even if you don't end up liking it that much, at least you got that experience. And I think that's worth a lot.
And I will, I guess, second, third, fourth, the answer to definitely get involved. It's so easy and it'll make your college experience very worthwhile. And so now we're going to actually open it up to audience questions. So again, you can put a question down at the Q&A at the bottom of the panel. Trying to look through. Are you involved in other organizations on campus? If so, which ones?
Okay, I'll go. So other than the bands that I am in, I'm also in one of the choirs, like I said, which is also an incredible experience, and they're all very inclusive and open to anybody. I'm also involved with UK's NAFME chapter, which is the National Association for Music Education. And that's also open to anyone. You don't have to be a major or a minor. You just need to have a passion for music, for teaching music and helping the community. And I think that's really great. And then I'm also involved with our chapter of Sigma Alpha Iota, which is a music fraternity that I'm involved in. And that's also open for anybody. You don't have to be a major or minor. You just have to love music.
I guess I'll follow up with that. I'm also in Sigma Alpha Iota as well as NAFME. I'm actually the vice president of the NAFME chapter. If anyone has any questions about those two specifically, you can contact me or Madi. I can put my email somewhere. I'll put it out there. We'll get it. But yeah, we would be happy to answer any questions you guys have about either of those organizations.
So besides Creator Cats, I'm actually a part of United Greek Council. I am the vice president of administration. And under United Greek Council, I'm in a sorority work. It's called Kappa Beta Gamma, and I'm the vice president as well for my sorority.
In addition to dance ensemble, I'm also a part of Greek life. So definitely being involved in different areas on campus kind of gives me more of a well-rounded approach to campus, and it's really fun.
My answer is kind of different from everyone else's. BV is my main thing as president. I really don't have time for a whole bunch of other things, but I'm one of those students that jump around to a bunch of different organizations events. So that's me. If it's not BV, you may catch me over here at NAACP's thing. You may catch me over here one Thursday at Underground Perspective. You may catch me do a midnight dodgeball somewhere. So I just jump around at different organizations things.
Awesome. So this question is pretty cool. How has being involved in creative or performing arts enhanced your college experience?
Definitely the interaction with the fans. Being part of WMB has been really cool because you get to, see everyone who's from Kentucky, or some people actually aren't from Kentucky. They just come and watch the football games and the basketball games, and they'll ask you a bunch of questions and they'll take selfies with you. And it's just super cool to be able to build that kind of culture around UK and what we are about. with the concert ensembles, it's also really cool to see people that aren't music majors coming to watch our concerts. Like, it's really cool to see the community watch us and do what we do. And we do try to give back as much as we can to UK. And
I would say that it's directly impacted my sense of belonging here at UK. And I think had I not joined BV, I wouldn't have felt at home. So that's, I mean, my answer is pretty short, sweet, and simple, but I feel like UK is home because I have that home with my family, my BV members.
Being a part of a club on UK's campus that's involved in the arts has really shown me how great Lexington is within the arts. Our small club has been able to kind of branch out into other aspects of the arts community in Lexington. We've been able to perform in other theaters that are really awesome in the city, and then also connect with other dance groups that are really strong and have helped us grow as a group. And so it's been fun to see the different aspects Lexington brings to the arts community.
I think that one thing that all of us have in common, and anyone who's involved in the arts has in common, is that when you're doing your specific art, whether it be music or drawing or whatever, dancing, it's just a way to express yourself and to release all of your emotions and all of your anxiety and all of your stress and everything. And I know I mentioned that before, that especially the bands, because I'm in those, that is just a way, it's a free time, it's a good space for me and a safe space for me to be myself and to be able to express myself. And I think that that's just the most important thing. And I think that's really what the arts are about, is just expressing yourself.
Kind of what like Madi said, it's just really cool seeing students really express themselves, especially with creator cats. It's really cool coming together, and like some person might have an idea of how maybe what we should focus on, and just it's really interesting to just see everybody's ideas and what they come up with and just how creative they are. Sadly, this project we were working on last semester got put on pause, but we actually got money and we were supposed to be making a mural somewhere in Lexington, which was going to be really cool. But it was really neat just seeing everyone come together and collaborate, like, you know, how we're going to do this, you know, what it might look like, and like just the designs and everything. So it's really neat seeing people, you know, be so creative and just like express themselves.
I love all of that so much. Kind of a follow-up question about, you know, involvement in other things. You know, how do you stay organized and on top of your things? What tips do you have for incoming freshmen who are wanting to balance school and involvement?
I can go. I think I speak from experience. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn how to say no to things. When someone asks you, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? You cannot sometimes. It's okay to say no. It's okay to have time to yourself, time in your room, chill time. It's okay. And also, please keep a planner. I also didn't do that my first couple of semesters. And let's say the grades weren't hot for a little bit.
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Are you sure? Okay. I totally agree with Madi on that, because you are going to have people coming up to you 24/7 asking you to do this, and this, and you can't, because you're taking 17 credit hours and you're involved in 15 other things, and you have to eat and you have to find time to like go home for 2 seconds. And it's really hard to do everything at once. So saying no is super important. And then also like finding time for your mental health. It's so important and crucial that you make time to make sure you're doing okay. And that, yeah, grades are important, and being there for other people, that's very important as well. And all of your things you're involved in and whatnot, but making sure that you are in check is very important within the college experience. And yeah, that's my 5 cents.
I second the planner. Definitely needed. The Canvas app has like a calendar on it. I check that multiple times a day just to make sure I'm on top, and it'll cross things out when you turn them in and stuff like that. But also prioritizing what you want to do. if you want to go and do this certain thing, or you want to sign up for this, go for it, do it. If you're like, I don't know, like maybe not, then don't. It's always about what you want to do. And I think in college, like, you're more able to kind of pick and choose where you want to set your priorities. So really knowing, yes, I want to do this, and nah, I could go without. So
Yeah, definitely like what Lauren said, prioritize everything. You know, just make sure time management is just the number one thing you really need to make sure, like, focus on. Like, you know, make sure you're really taking care of your schoolwork, but also that you're finding time to just take a break and relax, you know, with everything else that you have to take care of and work on. So
I would agree with Lauren and Cortney on that. Prioritizing is really huge. I remember calling my mom just distraught one day, and I was like, Mom, I don't have time for anything. Like, I don't have time. I have so much to do. And she was like, okay, Cymone, read through your plan for tomorrow. And I said, well, I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. She said, okay, what do you have to do? And I said, well, I have to go to class, and I got to go to BV. She said, well, maybe you can skip that lunch, and you can go skip the trip to the mall, and you can skip this meeting with this person. And when that was like a really important lesson for me, because once you prioritize and you see what's really important to you and what's necessary and what's not, your schedule will really free up and you won't be as overwhelmed. So that's how I was able to keep all of my things that I was responsible for in check, because I was able to prioritize what was important and what was not.
I will also second the planner. Get a planner, no questions about it. Another question I have, so are your organizations connected to the College of Fine Arts? And then do you receive any support from university departments?
I can start. So technically, yes, Black Voices Gospel Choir is a part of Fine Arts. You said the financial support from the university, right? Okay. Short answer, no. We support ourselves with money that we get from grants and then engagements that we have in our community. And the Office of Institutional Diversity has helped us a lot, but short answer, no, we are not funded by the University of Kentucky.
Dance Ensemble is also not connected to the Fine Arts. It's its own separate organization with no connections to them. Financially, we support ourselves through dues, which are a small amount, but still funded through our participants, and then also the money that we make off of our shows from both semesters. So that keeps us financially stable.
Creator Cats is also not a part of Fine Arts, but we also take care of everything ourselves financially. We don't really, I guess, have to worry about that much because we work with Media Depot, so they let us rent out their cameras and everything that we need, so it's really helpful. But yeah, besides that, we basically take care of everything.
So marching band and the concert band ensembles are classes. So we are given a lot of help from the Athletics Association as well as our Alumni Association. They try to constantly raise money for us and help us out with what we need to pay for, whether it's instruments, drill, music, everything in general. And then the concert ensembles are funded by the University of Kentucky, considering that they are all classes. So.
What Lara said.
Awesome. Another question, what spaces are available on campus to practice outside of org rehearsals?
Okay, so in Fine Arts, we do have a second floor, and a decent amount of that is practice rooms. So in the past, anyone could just go in and practice, or you could do lessons in there and stuff like that. This year, it'll be a little bit different because of COVID, but they're still not like solidified on that process. And then also, this is like a smaller thing, but I know in Holmes Hall with the Creative Arts LLP, they also have some practice rooms that are set aside just for those LLP students, which I think is pretty cool.
I can go. Kind of what Maddie said. Well, like we actually meet in Holmes Hall, like the little arts room, but I do know besides that, Media Depot actually has a few small rooms that you can rent out. Like I think not actually like rent as in pay, but like, sign up to rent out. But they have like a small green screen room and a room for like audio for recordings and stuff like that.
So for dance, there's a lot of spaces on campus. Personally, Dance Ensemble practices in Barker Hall, which is connected to the Burrell Armory near the Student Center. And it's a big dance space. Also, there are exercise rooms in both gyms, the Johnson Center and the Student Center gym, that you can rent out. Also, Holmes Hall has a dance studio in the bottom floor, and just a bunch of open spaces. I know a lot of people can rent out Whitehall classrooms and they'll have practices there, so a lot of space.
Because we require spaces to practice outside of choir time, it's kind of weird because we like to practice together. So if for any reason we need to practice outside of rehearsal, maybe we could go to someone's house or go to a park to stay, within COVID regulations and stuff, but that's not really something that we really do. We send out music so people can learn beforehand and afterhand, stuff like that, but we don't really do too much of our own practices.
Thank you guys for that. And so that kind of wraps up our question and answer portion of today's panel. And so before we go, can each of you say what the process is of joining your organization, and then what's the best way to get in touch, whether that's social media, be involved?
Okay, so for marching band specifically, you can either go on to the UK Bands website and there will be a section specifically for marching band, or you could go to our Instagram or our Facebook page and there's links to sign up there and give us your information. And then also, if you wanted to, you could email our director, Dana Biggs, at dana.biggs@uky.edu. And then for all of our concert ensembles, it's really just signing up for the class. And then once you do that, if you want to go into one of the auditioned groups, which are the Wind Symphony and Symphony Band, then you can go online to UK Bands and there will be an audition packet with all the music, and then the time and the info for that will be there. Or if you want to do concert band, then you literally just sign up for the class and then go there on the first day, and that's it.
So in previous semesters, we have an audition once a semester, once in the fall and once in the spring. And that kind of has a like a warm-up section, and then an across the floor section for dance technique, and then it will have 2 to 3 combos, like short 15-30-second combos that we will teach you. And then after that, auditions are over, and then we'll kind of pick through and see. This semester, I'm unsure of how that will go. Probably masks will be required and social distancing, and we may split them up into smaller groups of people to audition, just whatever UK thinks is safest, and we will obviously do. So yeah, that's kind of our audition process and how to join.
So basically for Creator Cats, there's no way, like you don't have to audition or anything. All you just have to do is just show up to our meetings. And if you ever like want any information about that, we have a BB Involve page. We have an Instagram where we post information of our flyers of what days we have meetings and everything. And then we also have a email if you want to contact us, which is creatorcats@gmail.com.
So for us, you can either sign up for us as a class, because we are a class, and it's MUC 174 Section 2, or you can just show up to our rehearsals, which is in the Fine Arts Building, room 117. Check our Instagram for that to be sure. That's we're at UK Black Voices, because that may change a little bit. So you can sign up for us as a class or just show up to our meetings on Wednesdays.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I want to once again thank our panelists for joining us today. Their organizations that they're a part of make up only a small fraction of the many, many organizations on campus that consider themselves to have a focus in creative and performing arts. And to learn more about the organizations that were represented here today, as well as any other organizations that are at the university, you can visit BB Involved at go.uky.edu/bbinvolved. And there you can check out a list of all the organizations on campus underneath the organization tab. And then you can also filter out different types of organizations by a certain category. And so if you want to have a focus in fine arts, you can do that as well. And so before we end it today, I will also highlight some additional opportunities for involvement that are happening this fall. Campus Ruckus is the big involvement and activities fair that takes place during K Week each year. And this year, Campus Ruckus will be on Friday, August 14th in the concourse at Kroger Field. Additionally, the Fall Involvement Fair will be taking place sometime in September as another opportunity to meet and join organizations on campus. And you can find more details about both of those on the events tab in BB Involved. And lastly, I want you to know that there is an organization on campus for everyone. That being said, it can be extremely difficult to navigate. There are so many different organizations. Where do you even start? We have involvement advising here on campus. And so you can meet with a peer involvement advisor to kind of chat through what things you're interested about and kind of the involvement opportunities you can get into. And so you can reach out to the involvement advising team at getinvolveduky@gmail.com. And so thank you guys so much for attending today's session. And again, thanks to our panelists, and hopefully we will see you guys soon this fall.